सो हेलो एवरीवन एंड वेलकम बैक टू अनदर वीडियो। आज की वीडियो में जहाँ से अपन ने छोड़े थे, जो सेकंड चैप्टर का लास्ट का थोड़ा सा बचा हुआ है, वो चालू करेंगे 54-55 पेजेस के आसपास थे अपन। तो मैं जल्दी से पेज पलट लेता हूँ गाइस, एक मिनट, और जूम भी कर लेता हूँ ताकि अपन जल्दी स्टार्ट कर सके, ताकि पिछली बार जैसे वैसे ना छूट जाए थोड़ा सा बचा हुआ। तो ये आ गया चैप्टर, आगे पेज। अगर आप लोगों को कैसी लग रही है स्टोरी टेलिंग मेरी? अगर अच्छी लग रही हो तो गाइस एक लाइक दे दीजिए गाइस, मतलब लाइक ही नहीं आ रहे हैं, लाइक प्लस सब्सक्राइब भी नहीं कर रहे हो आप लोग, पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हो गाइस। सब्सक्राइब तो कर लीजिए कम से कम, सब्सक्राइब। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं, सब्सक्राइब करिएगा ज़रूर से। सो कौन थे? हाँ, The last time Kadowaki saw him dressed up was during the Golden a month ago. It was no surprise the two boys weren't used to it just yet. Right now, only Mahiru herself was accustomed to his new look. As for her, Chitose was driving in for some skinship with her while surrounded by classmates. Although the group stayed at a distance, it was easy to hear what they were asking Mahiru. Of course, Samani without even listening to Fujimiya-kun. Listening in. Fujimiya-kun? Amani peered over the thought must be tough, but it was actually him being called. Turning his head, looking back, he found several girls looking at him, forming a circle around his desk. They made no secret of curiosity shining in their eyes, the curiosity shining in their eyes. Amani wasn't good at dealing with girls and was a little uncomfortable with the situation. However, he was somewhat expecting this and he looked at them with replying calmly, "What's up? What's up, chicks? Wow, it's Fumiya-kun. You're completely different from usual. It startled me. My impression changed quite a bit after all. That's the thing, you look boring before." Hey, it's rude to say that, right? I'm sorry, Fujimiya-kun. It's just you look so handsome, I can't control myself. So, yeah, sorry. भावनाओं में बह गया था. It's okay, you aren't wrong. Although Amani was almost swallowed by the girl's aura, he tried his best to keep from being brought into their rhythm and smiled worriedly at the same time. They were just telling the truth, so Amani did not want to deny it, nor he was angry either. It was his own choice to remain invisible, for since he didn't want to stand out, so he built the image of a useless, harmless, and honest boy in the class. Since that image suddenly shattered, it was understandable for them to be confused. You really, sorry guys, you really look different. Yeah, it is weird like this. No, it's, 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 no, it is. Is it weird like this? No, I think it's look better. It's a lot better, I think. It's better to say that seeing you so handsome was shocking. If you say so, I guess my effort weren't in vain. Being highly praised in a person made Amani feel embarrassed, but it didn't make much sense to deny it here. Amani knew that being humble wasn't a good thing, so he gratefully accepted the praise. Amani paid attention to making his expression as soft as possible. He nodded and the girls laughed happily. Well, can I just ask one thing? Sure, as long as I can answer it. And to the next page. I'm wondering, but was Fumiya-kun the boy who walked with Sheena before? Uh, This question is finally here. Since someone would ask sooner or later, he intended to answer it. Clearly hear and express his thought about it. Since someone would ask sooner or later, he intended the other students seemed to be carefully listening in on his conversation. Sorry guys, conversation. If he declares it now, it would end up spreading throughout the entire school. Yeah, it was me. Then, are you two dating? I saw you two holding hands before. Yep, thanks to everyone's support, we started dating last week. We started dating last week. After Amani clearly affirmed it in a high pitch, screaming sound, he then heard the despair and the terror of boys behind him, and then he just ignored them for now. Yeah, just ignore these guys. Either way, the boys would definitely interrogate him. Sorry guys, mazak kar raha tha. Interrogate him later. So Amani could just respond then. Hey, how did you and Sheena? An incident happened last year, and our relationship necessarily progressed from there, right, Mahiru? Well, yes, yes, babes. Maybe because Mahiru's interrogation ended, or likely because of paper conservation. Sorry guys, ये लाइन फिर से पढ़ता हूँ अच्छे से. Maybe because Mahiru interrogation ended, or likely because a proper conversation would clear things up faster. Mahiru walked over to. Mahiru भी आ गई है guys वहाँ पे अब. अकेले नहीं छोड़ूंगी मैं इसको. Amani with a smile, she stood at a distance, almost touching him, and then smiled beautifully at the girls who were asking Amani their questions. It's not that easy to explain. We only started dating after a lot of other things happened. I was in the unrequited love before we started dating. So I was too excited this morning. I felt like showing off back when we were holding hands. Just like when we arrived at school, Mahiru grabbed Amani's hand, and then Amani smiled bitterly and held her back. No, I think I fell in love with you first. Is that so? Well, Amani-kun wasn't lying, willing to confess. Sorry, I have to reflect on that. I have confessed now, so please forgive me. I think it was me who took the first step. The next time, I will be the one to do that. What are you going to do next time? You can take a guess. As for a couple next step, there was only one possibility. Mahiru shouldn't understood what he was getting at, but she felt puzzled. Amani felt that he shouldn't say those words out loud yet, so he placed them in his heart since he wasn't yet old enough to take responsibility. Amani was confident his feelings would remain the same for the years gone. And the right time, he intended to say it proper to her, so he will bide his time for now. Control high लड़के में बहुत ज़्यादा. What do you guys think? Just comment it down there in the comment box. Just do a random comment. I want a comment, guys. Please comment. Due to Amani's joking around, Mahiru gazed him, looking at her dissatisfied. After Amani caressed her head and she calmed down. You're trying to fool me again. I'll talk to you about it later, so just let me go for now. Really? Mahiru spoke of her unhappiness, but she looked very content. However, she seemed to notice something. Harriet covered her face while immediately starting to blush. Confused, Amani didn't know what was happening. Looking around, he noticed the palpable silence of his classmate. Palpable? Matlab? Guys, just comment down the meaning because I don't know. I'll search it later. Their eyes simply gathered on him, and then Mahiru. I messed up. Truthfully, Amani intended to show their good relationship and stabilize his position as Mahiru's boyfriend. However, he wasn't planning to talk like he usually did at home. Amani had struck Mahiru's head on her head without realizing it. However, once he did that, it was obvious what the surrounding student would think about it. Amani, you are showing your affection inadvertently. Please be aware. Even Itsuki, who firmly occupied the title of the first Jenny idiot couple, has to remind him. Amani hurried, took his hand away from Mahiru's head, biting his lip tightly to avoid showing off the whole heat that rushed to his cheek. Heat that rushed to his cheek. The news that Amani and Mahiru have started dating. The news that Amani and Mahiru started dating spread across the school immediately, thanks to the classmates who, for better or worse, loved to gossip, and thanks to the people that saw them walking to the school together. Everyone knew it wasn't just a rumor. Whenever there was a chance in period or they needed to leave the classroom, there would always be people whispering nearby, which made Amani particularly uncomfortable. Obviously, are. The commotion will subside in few days, right? Makoto stood at a certain distance away from the center of the noise and looked at the scene. Kazuya nodded in agreement. Well, people don't talk about same thing for too long, so it will be overwritten by the topic soon enough. I hope so. If this happens every day, I really will start to have a headache. Even during class, Amani could hear someone whispering at a distance away from him. To be honest, he was in a little bit of a bad mood. Incidentally, during the last class break, the boys questioned him for a long time, cutting his strength in half. Fortunately for him, there was no physical education class today. I think there will be a fewer people questioning you in the future, but you will be surrounded for another session. Another reason? There will be some that think you aren't that bad of an object to have, but I already have someone I like. Amani's whole life was already dedicated to Mahiru. Even if he was asked to look elsewhere, he definitely wouldn't be able to. After all, even if there was someone better than Mahiru, he would never choose someone else. Even if there was. मतलब पहले देख रहे हो बता रहे स्टोरी में कि उससे बेटर कोई है ही नहीं. Anyone else looking for Amani's love would only trouble him. There's no way someone would think Amani was such a frivolous boy. Frivolous boy. Sometimes being in love is unreasonable like that. क्या story है guys. Wow, it's sure rare to hear something like that coming from you, Makoto. How rude. However, even though you have already got a lover, their feeling can't be suppressed so easily. After all, love is just an impulse. Makoto added, you're right, but they can't act on the impulses here though. You look at the girls gathering to chat and cited sighed slightly. No matter what, no one will be able to get between you two. That's how I see it. I agree. Your display of affection shouldn't taught others the meaning of restraint. But even so, I wasn't expecting you to do that in front of everyone. Forget that already, bitch. Amane thought of his action earlier, his shame starting to rise up. He didn't want to show off the intimacy to help people watch away, but caressing her head so lovely as he did was akin to a confession. Beyond that, what Amani said afterwards sounded like he was planning to propose in the future. He wasn't intending to let his classmates know that much about it. Fortunately, Mahiru succeeded in throwing off but Itsuki and Makoto seemed to catch, dumbfounded, saying they're so affectionate. Well, now everyone knows Sheena only showed that expression to Fujimiya. From the point of view, it's not bad, right? You could say that, but what is embarrassing is still embarrassing. What is embarrassing is still embarrassing. You say that after holding hands together in this way of school? Really? That was different. Intentionally and unintentionally, display of affection had different level of shame. Just give up. Decide some people are thankful for you being flirting like that. How come if the boys chasing Sheena would finally shift their attention to elsewhere, the girls will be happy? This was something Amane has considered as well. Not all the girls treated Mahiru in the same way. Amane knew that some of them had mixed feeling towards her because she attracted the attention of the boys. Until now, Mahiru had been alone. She was a lone flower who didn't show intimacy to anyone. But now she specified Amane as her important person and showed no interest in others. This elevated the disguised habits by the people. सो गाइस आपने ऐसे शायद आपने अगर एनिमी देखा हुआ है तो आपको मालूम होगा कि यहाँ पे क्या बात चल रही थी. उसमें जो लास्ट एपिसोड है उसमें थोड़ा सा बताया गया था ये सब. Now to the next page. 15 मिनट हो गए गाइस, जल्दी करना पड़ेगा. Mahiru once said, not everyone liked me, and there are some who speak ill words behind my back, and Amane thought that the world of girls was terrible, but the given situation, now at least Mahiru would finally be relieved of their age. Girls really do try their best, but now after all this, everyone will understand that Mahiru is just an ordinary girl. She also doesn't like people calling her angel and think it's too shameful. There's no surprise. Yup, Yuta, you also had a subtle change in expression every time he called the prince. This much is normal. According to Kazuya, Kazuaki was also uncomfortable with the title of the prince. As he expected before, Yuta also had the same trouble as the Mahiru, so Amane silently prayed for him. Amane hoped Kazuaki could eventually find someone that understands him, just like Mahiru did. I hope that person treats everyone equally gentle and kind, and it's the type to stay honest with themselves. What are you talking about? Just Amane was wishing for Kazuaki's happiness. Mahiru finished talking with Chitose and walked over. Mahiru probably didn't hear what they were talking about, but she noticed Amane's cheek was flushed. So she looked at the three of them. Her eyes were containing a little surprise. Oh, Sheena, we were talking about just that you are also an ordinary girl, you know. You talk about that kind of topics? No, well, now the class see you as a normal girl rather than the angel Mahiru. So Amane forgot about what happened this morning and summarized their small talk to Mahiru. Now understanding, she nodded, said, that's true. I know that it, in a certain way I seen as an idol by someone. That much is true. Hearing Mahiru, guys. Hearing Mahiru quietly muttered, Makoto and Kazuki both showed up the expression of as expected. Expected. Both have known Kazuaki for a while and noticed similar things in him too. So they understood how Mahiru felt since she was quite similar to him. I don't care about what they say, really. After all, as long as Amane sees me as an ordinary girl, it's fine. Although Amane and Makoto and Kazuki heard her whisper, so her destructive power was more than enough. Mahiru's cheek flushed slightly and she smiled bashfully, and Amane wasn't the only fascinated by it. He heard Kazuya and Makoto gasping next to him. Even passing the classmates who just happened to look by now stared at Mahiru's expression at days. चलो गाइस कम से कम कुछ तो खत्म हुआ. Fujimiya, think of a way to control your girlfriend. Damani heard in a soft voice. There are many victims around us. He desperately agreed, but love was helpless like that, or rather, he was himself was the biggest victim and was trying his best to stabilize his wildly beating heart. Really, she's love struck. Hearing Kalju's helpless mutter, Mahiru blushed again and smiling deeply as if affirming it. गाइस चलो ये वाला पार्ट ख़त्म हुआ. अपन अब थर्ड पार्ट पढ़ेंगे जिसका नाम है इंटरोगेशन एट लंच. गाइस अगर आपको शायद डायरेक्ट अगर आपको वाले सीन्स चाहिए, आप जान रहे हैं कौन सी बात कर रहा हूँ, तो गाइस आप मेरे को कमेंट करके बता दीजिए. तो पहले मैं उनका बना दूंगा, फिर उसके बाद ये वाली वीडियोस डालूंगा. तो जैसे आपकी अच्छी रहेगी तो आप बता दीजिएगा. बाकी अगर आप लोग कमेंट नहीं करेंगे तो मैं यहीं से चलता रहूँगा और सीरीज़ वाइज फिर सीरीज़ ख़त्म कर दूँगा जल्दी जल्दी. और गाइस अगर आपको कुछ और चाहिए होगा बीच बीच में तो आप बताते रहिए, जैसे कि मेरी फ़नी वॉइसेस एंड डिफरेंट थिंग्स लाइक दैट. बाकी जब तक के लिए गाइस मेरे पहले के पार्ट देख सकते हैं आप, उनको मैं कमेंट बॉक्स में या फिर आपको यहाँ पे देख रहे होंगे, यहाँ पे या यहाँ पे कहीं पे भी देख रहे होंगे, तो वहाँ पे आप वीडियो की लिंक पे क्लिक करके देख सकते हैं. और क्या गाइस, अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगी हो वीडियो को लाइक करिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए और अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर करिए गाइस. शेयर इट विथ योर फ्रेंड्स हु आर लोनली बिकॉज दे नीड इट. सो जब तक के लिए जय हिंद, जय भारत, जय श्री राम गाइस. बाय.
These brothers my guys, know that we fly, know that they ride or die.